Hey guys, Kenny Wisdom here, back for the conclusion of our Donphan Battle Tower. So let's talk about how those rounds went. Really, the biggest thing, and I will freely admit this, is that I made a few misplays. Um, they didn't end up costing us, but it's still important to recognize those. One thing that because we're going to go into a little bit of my personal thinking about games and about Pokemon in specific here, but there's a thing called being results-oriented. And results-oriented thinking is essentially the idea that all that mattered was what the end of it, right? So you can say, oh man, it doesn't matter that I ran that red light because I didn't hit anyone, right? But that's wrong, actually. What matters is the intent of the action. It doesn't really matter what the result was. And that can be applied here when I'm saying, I misplayed, but it didn't matter. And that's good for us. That's fine. I'm glad that it didn't end up affecting us, but it still matters. You can also use result-oriented thinking in the reverse, where you can say, a lot of people will say, oh man, I didn't do very well with Donphan, even though it was the best deck, had the best matchups in the room. Like I'm not going to play this deck ever again. And that's not really correct thinking either. As long as you identify the decision as correct. So let's say this. Let's say you're in a tournament and there's 50 people, and you know that all of the people are playing only EX decks that are weak to fighting. Let's say you know that 40 of the people in the tournament are playing that. Well, Donphan seems like a pretty good choice then. Sigalith can block their EXs. When you attack them, the weak to Donphan seems great. Seems like a fine choice. But let's say when you go to that tournament, you get paired 5 times in a row versus one of the 8 players besides you that aren't playing those decks and are playing decks that are good against Donphan. Well, regardless, you know that playing Donphan was the correct decision. You even if it didn't work out that way, you can't. Those are the results. The results were you went 0-4 at that tournament, dropped, and didn't win any prizes. But your decision making, your thinking was still correct. So, this is a long-winded way of saying that I shouldn't have made those misplays, even though it ended up working out for us, and due to some bad luck by our opponents, and due to some suspect play by our opponents, and due to some huge luck by us, we still won. That was still not really where I wanted to be, and I'm going to make sure that I don't continue to make those misplays in future videos. As far as the list itself went, I don't think anything was really wrong with it. Drawing energy, I guess, we missed that a little bit. There's a few turns where we could have gotten really ahead if we had a few more energy in our deck, but I'm not sure if there's really room for any more. We mostly had the right attackers, we mostly had enough resources. So yeah, the deck list seems pretty good. It's pretty standard, like I said, but it seems fine. One of the things I want to start doing is following up with these decks, so please, if you have any other Donphan lists that you'd like me to try, or really any other deck list, I need deck ideas for Battle Towers that you want to see, please leave them in the comments or message them directly to me on the Bubble account on YouTube, or send a message to facebook.com/otbpokemon. Hope you guys enjoyed the Donphan videos. I apologize for the misplays, and I'll see you next week.